Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
One misclick and everything's messed up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Some editing this week.
you know
Oh my goodness.
I'm about to.
Yay, Ronald. Yay, Junie. You came
We
back.
got everybody back. We got 100% of our followers back.
Oh my goodness.
Dang. Sorry, guys. That was a misclick on my part.
Oh my goodness.
But guess
Girl,
what? I found my Spotify Wrapped.
girly pop. Girly pop.
My bad. I'm just, let's never open. I'm going to close StreamYard on my phone. We're never doing that again. I don't trust it ever.
Oh, girly pop. Who has more fun than us?
We gained a new follower starting another stream. We got Ari now.
Lovely. Lovely.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely.
Let's.
But I don't even know what we were talking about.
I don't either because we were both like halfway talking, trying to pull stuff up. But I am going to pull up my Spotify Wrapped.
What, you got notified about the second one, Ari, but not the first one?
Why is it not notifying about the first one? No wonder you weren't there. That's weird.
That is weird.
Maybe we should start doing 2 streams every Wednesday.
Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy.
Ta-da! Oh, it's so small.
So tiny.
Is there slightly bigger? But this is my Spotify Wrapped. For those of you who can't see because it's so tiny, my top songs are Stick Season by Noah Khan.
I love Stick Season.
I do too, and you know this.
I love Stick Season.
Stick Season by Noah Khan, and then Bust Your Kneecaps by Pamplemousse. And then
What?
Loser, Bust Your Kneecaps.
Never heard that song. Go ahead.
You
Continue.
absolutely have. It's Johnny, don't leave me. You said you love me forever.
Yeah, that Stick Season is the COVID
It's
on
the
the
COVID
Plane
on the Plane song.
Yeah.
That's a hilarious way to put that, but yes.
That's my favorite line of that song. That's what caught my attention for that song. Was the COVID on the Plains line.
Oh, the thing that caught my attention was Isaac saying the lyrics for the chorus over and over. Doing all birthday Christmas gifts.
You're doing
my
all
goodness.
your shopping just like Isaac did all his shopping yesterday.
Yeah, Isaac messaged me yesterday. He's like, I've already bought your Christmas present. And I'm like, what? I just put the thing in. He's like, yeah, I went to the old list. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not waiting.
He was prepared. My stuff, honestly, we might have another year of my stuff showing up slightly after Christmas because we're cutting it close this year.
Mm. Well, you saw my message,
yeah,
in the group chat.
Yes,
which we don't have to. For everyone else listening, I feel bad posting this message because it feels weird, like I'm begging them to give me presents. I'm not begging them to give me presents, but I'm trying to tell them, if you really feel the need to give me a present, you don't have to get something off the wish list.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about this with your brother yesterday. The whole reason we started the Amazon wish list was because I am so bad at figuring out what the rest of y'all want for Christmas.
Oh, same.
But as for me, you don't have to get me anything. You can get me a hug and a smile. You can get me a $5 Apple card that I can spend on one of these silly games that I play. You know what I mean? You can get me a pattern. It didn't hit me till yesterday because I've been making a wish list of patterns that are paid on Ravelry.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hit me till yesterday that y'all can buy me something off my Ravelry wish list.
Does Ravelry do like gift cards? Can you?
They don't do gift cards, but you can send somebody your wish list.
Oh, well, send your wish list.
You can send somebody your wish list. Well, I don't want to just clog the chat with all of those lists, but like,
That's what the chat is
you
for.
have Ravelry. So if somebody comes to you and says, "How do I get to mommy's Ravelry wish list?" And also, Chloe is my friend on Steam, so she could get y'all to my Steam wish
Hmm.
list.
I think
So
I should
and
be your friend on Steam.
that way, if one of y'all wants to surprise me with something,
Hmm.
that's where the really cheap stuff is on Steam and Ravelry. And if you're waiting to, like, if your checks are tight and you have to wait till the very last second to
Hmm.
buy me something, but you don't have to buy me anything.
Oh,
I'm just putting those options out there.
so catching up in the chat. Um, oh, Ari says his dad and older sister have birthdays this month. You're gonna be doing some spending.
Oh Lord.
Ronald says hubby and I are only buying for each other this year. Yeah, that's
That's what
basically.
happens when you are a childless couple. Lucky you.
I mean, we Wayne and I are buying for anybody other than our immediate families,
Hmm.
and then each other. Like I'm
Hmm.
buying for the five of you guys and
Hmm.
him, and that's it.
Well, I'm sure your father has a couple people that, like, maybe his cousin Butch or somebody that he buys
Hmm.
for. Me, I don't buy for anybody but my children, my husband, and your partners, which means V and Wayne.
Hmm.
I don't buy for anybody else because to me that's enough, and that already stresses me out. Although having the wish list makes it easier
Yes, it does.
because
Because
I feel much less stressed because I feel like I still feel the stress of spending money, but I feel much less stressed about um what should I get you and is it the right thing and blah 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 blah.
I love having the wish list. I literally, one of the high school children at my job the other day was like, I'm trying to buy something for my sister and I can't figure out what to buy. And she's like, does this sound good? Does this sound good? And I'm like, does she have a wish list? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I can't help you. This is how my family buys gifts. I cannot help you. Let's see. Also catching up. Ronald says, "OMG, I thought it was -3 right now. I had somehow changed it to Celsius. It's
Oh
actually
Lord.
27 degrees. 27 is
27
still
is low
cold.
enough. Good Lord.
Yeah, we had. Oh, speaking of life updates, we had snow yesterday. Let's take this down. I will put Spotify back up in a minute. But we had snow yesterday, and I went to go to
We
work.
had snow too.
Oh,
We
it
had
actually snowed over there.
We had
Oh
snow
my
too,
god.
and Charlotte Observer. The first thing, because I have the news thing that I get on my
Uh huh.
phone, and so I've subscribed to Charlotte Observer as part of my news thing. And the first headline they had was, you laughed yesterday when we said it was going to snow, but if you were up at 3 o'clock this morning, it actually did snow.
Ooh.
But I know it was gone by the time you woke up and grabbed the paper. But if you look at these pictures from 3 o'clock this morning, it actually did snow, and
Not to say we
they
got
had all
receipts,
these
girly.
and they had all these pictures that people had sent in of
So that's
snow on their
hilarious.
porch and all this other because apparently Charlotte hasn't had snow in 3 years. I don't know how, because I feel like in Gaston County we have had snow.
Yeah,
But
that's weird.
apparently in Charlotte, they haven't had snow in 3 years.
But yesterday it snowed. We knew it was going to snow because we were up. We walked the dogs around like midnight for their last like potty of the night, and so we went to walk the dogs, and it was like flurrying, and I was like, oh no, because it was already like sticking to the yard and stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, and it's cold. And then I get up in the morning, and my manager has sent me a text message that's like, let me know when you're here so she can unlock the door. Let me know when you're here. Also, be safe on the roads. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, she's just saying it's safe, be safe because it's snowing or whatever. She lives basically on the same road as me.
Mm-hmm.
I get myself ready, get in the car, brush all the snow. And it's like the light, dusty, like it's the snow that you picture in cartoons where it's so light and dusty. It's not like stuck to anything. It's like, it almost looks like fake snow. It's so light and dusty.
Uh huh.
And so I dust it off of my windshield so I can see, and off of my window so I can see and everything. And I get out. My driveway's fine. My road that I'm on is fine. I get to that main road. It is backed up, like so backed up. Luckily, as soon as I get there, my light turns green and I'm able to turn out. And as I turn out, it's my car goes scoot scoot, and I'm like, oh no, the whole road from like me to like 4 or 5 lights later, ice, nothing but ice on that main road for some reason. But then as soon as you get out of like the section that my part of the road is, like once you get closer towards my job, there's nothing there. There's no ice. There's nothing on the road. It's a little bit snow. Like it's wet, obviously, but there's no ice on the road. So I'm like, why is this main section in front of my house nothing but ice? Because it was like literally by the time I got to the gas station, which the gas station is close enough that Wayne can walk to it, because he walked because the gas station is right beside the smoke shop, and he went to get some like gummies or something, CBD gummies or something the other day. So the gas station is close enough for him to walk to. By the time I got to that gas station, I had already seen 3 cars pulled off to the side of the road because they had like spun out and couldn't stop, and because they like slid to the edges and couldn't stop, and like 4 different police cars and an ambulance. Oh, look at his booty.
I put that up there for Ronald.
Oh my goodness, the booty.
I sent you that picture.
Did I miss it?
Yes, I sent that to you.
I don't remember seeing that boy's booty. Maybe I missed it because you sent me a couple pictures. I missed the booty. I think I was looking at it when I was busy doing something. But yeah, ice. It was so icy and so scary. My manager said that when she was going to work, her like tail end like slid. She almost slid into the other lane, and we were going so slow. Yes, but ice. But it's all gone now. It's crazy how much ice is there, and it was gone like by the end of the day. It was gone. But bringing back up the Spotify Wrapped and continuing. So I had 6 Season. I had Bust Your Kneecaps, which I know that you know that song. I will play it for you later. I've got Loser Baby from Has Been Hotel because your girl's obsessed.
Oh, good.
It's Lord. So good. It's so
good.
What
does Has Been Hotel air on? Because I've seen people show clips from it, but I don't know where they're watching it. Is it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing's on Amazon Prime. I feel like you would enjoy the music. I know that you're not a cartoon girly. I feel like you would enjoy the music because the music's pretty good. It's got Keith David in it. Keith David is one of the main voices.
I've seen clips from it it feels like it was 2 years ago when they were like still making it or still working on it. So I've seen clips from it from a while back.
Yeah, because they had, if I'm not mistaken, so there's Has Been Hotel, and then there's another show, Hell of a Boss, by the same like artist, but that one I think didn't have a big like mainstream TV show. It was like a smaller like indie maybe YouTube thing or whatever.
Maybe it was Hell of a Boss that I've seen then, because that art just looks familiar.
Yeah, it's Hell of a Boss is by the same person, and then Has Been Hotel had like a trailer opening or something, or maybe it was like a proof of concept or something, but it had like different there was like a short, like a mini show that was only like 2 hours or something, or maybe an hour or something, and it had different voice actors, and then when they made the full show, they like changed a few things and got the like big name voice actors.
Okay.
Sidebar, Ronald says, I went sliding on some ice at leaving the theater last week too. There was a huge wreck. I slid right into the flares, but ended up in line with the other cars. Oh my goodness, that is scary.
No, that sounds awful.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was thinking even before we started today, I was wondering how Ronald's show went.
Yes, Ronald, let's know how the show went. I've only slid on the ice that bad one time. Thank goodness. Let's see. The other songs in my top songs are Riverside by Yes Ma'am, which I fully cannot explain that song other than that is the theme song for one of my D&D characters. And then Cottontail. Did you hear Cottontail when it was popular on TikTok?
I don't think so. I probably have, because I hear all the popular TikTok songs, and I even have one of the Spotify playlists where they have all the popular TikTok songs. But I can't place which one that is. It's
oh Cottontail, tripping on your cottontail. Oh Cottontail, tripping on your cottontail.
I'm glad I don't think I've heard that. I'm glad your show is going well. I hope you're having fun.
Exciting, and plenty of time to work on more rainy squares while you're in the back. So those are my top songs. My top artists are Nathan Apollo. I can't explain that. He's great. Listen to his songs. Steam Powered Giraffe, which I feel like if you know me, you should know. Hosier, because Hosier.
Because it's too sweet.
Because Too Sweet and Too Sweet. Well, hang on. Let me fully pull up my on repeat playlist right now because I bet you I have at least 2 songs in there right now. Who is calling me? Oh, Michelle called me. I'll have to check that out later. Because Too Sweet and there's like 2 other songs that I just can't think of the name of. Too Sweet, It Will Come Back, Work Song, and I feel like there was one other.
See, I don't think I know any of these songs.
So good.
I don't think I know any of these songs. Well, I just tried to pull up my 2024 Wrapped, and it just stalled on my computer. But
oh yeah, I pulled it up on my phone and then downloaded the little screenshot things, and I'm pulling this up.
Wrapped. It says Wrapped is in the app. Your year in audio is waiting. Oh, so
you have to pull it up in the app. Did I want music right now? Rude. What are you asking, Ronald?
Rude.
Ronald is asking, did I want music right now? As in music recommendations? I'll take recommendations. But Nathan Apollo, Steam Power Draft, Hosier, Pomplamoose, who did the Bust Your Kneecap song that I'm sure that you know, and then Andrew Underberg, who is the musician behind Has-Been Hotel. And then my top podcasts are the Dungeons and Daddies Patreon feed, Dungeons and Daddies normally because I was listening to normally, and then partway through the year I subscribed to their Patreon for $5. So both of them are now in my top podcasts. The Dimension 20 podcast because I was listening. I downloaded a bunch of Dimension 20 whenever the power went out, so I listened to those while the power was out. Worlds Beyond Number, which I cannot recommend enough. It is so good. And Scam Goddess. Because
now it tells me my Spotify Wrapped is here now that I've opened my thing on my phone.
Maybe I turned it down too low.
Why didn't you tell me that yesterday when I opened it on my tablet? Not once.
Was it out yesterday? I assumed that it just came out today since everybody was talking about it today.
So you just found out about today. Well, maybe it is today. Okay. So, let's see. I'm running through mine. Life moves fast.
You'll have to click through because Spotify does the whole pomp and circumstance of, oh my goodness, girly, you've been listening to so much Broadway. Let's take a look at it, and then like shows you the screen and like, oh my goodness, your music taste has changed. Your music taste has changed so much.
My biggest listening day was April 10th with 656 minutes. Where do you find the time? What was I doing on April 10th? I wonder.
Mine was like one day in mine was one day in October when the power was out. That makes sense. I was like
3,000 songs. My top song was "Beautiful Things" by Benson Boone. That makes sense.
I don't know that song.
You know that song?
Beautiful Things?
Yes.
What song is that?
You know that song. I streamed it 33 times starting on January 26th. Oh my goodness. You didn't
stream it with me.
You know that song. Add it to your playlist.
Oh no.
You share a Spotify account? Ronald.
How?
Ronald. Get the Spotify family and give the man his own account. I spent 52,000 minutes listening to podcasts. My top podcast topic was news, which makes sense.
Oh, my top podcast topic was comedy.
Lord have mercy. Any other projects that you are working on?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of projects while you're
show your projects. Okay. Because I know you got a heart out today.
Also, is the music too loud? Because I turned it up because Ronald said he could like barely hear it. I usually turn it down because I know that you say it's too loud, and so I turn it back.
You can leave it. It feels kind of loud to me, but you can leave it.
I'm sorry. I will turn it down just a little, just a smidgen. There we go.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to.
Okay.
February was your boozy strut rap phase.
Boozy strut rap phase.
I don't know.
wild.
I need to go back and watch this again because
Yeah, I will. I think I'm gonna see if I can do like pull the whole video, like the whole slideshow, and share it on the Discord because it is so fun. It is so funny because they're really trying to be trendy. Okay, so this week I made honestly so many things. So we all saw this hat that I made last week, correct?
yes.
Okay, we saw that one. I made two more. So I've got this one, which is just more shades of tan. Just more beige toys
you're
for beige
using up all the
children.
tan, right?
Using up all my beige. But also, look at this guy.
Oh, that is pretty. What is that?
Right?
What yarn is that?
This is, hang on, because I have another skein of it sitting right here. Because I thought I was going to need two skeins because I had not yet done the math for the thing. This is Lion Brand Mandala Gradient. And take a look at that. Look at how pretty that is.
That is pretty.
Right?
A lot of these yarns, I really love the way they look caked up, and that's what induces me to want to make stuff. But then a lot of times I don't like them as much after I've after I've knit with them.
I feel the same way because I bought those two skeins specifically to do this because I was like, I'll use both skeins on this. So I specifically asked Wayne, I was like, so I've got two skeins. Should it go dark, light, dark, or light, dark, light? Turns out it was not enough to do a full double transition. But okay, it's frustrating because it wasn't enough to do a full two skeins, a full double transition, but it also was not enough to like finish, like the one skein was not enough to finish a row. So the two skeins was too much, but doing the one skein, it wasn't enough to finish the hat. So I dropped like 4 rows. So this hat's a little bit smaller. It's like just a tiny bit smaller. But I dropped 4 rows
because you didn't want to start a second.
Exactly. So I dropped 4 rows, and then you can like just barely tell it, but I switched to another just like white at the very end.
It looks nice though.
Yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. I was just like so frustrated with the amount of yarn that it took. So I did that. So I made those two hats. I made 2 more Lil hats. So I've got a little, this is a beanie.
Oh, that's nice. I like that color combination.
Yeah, you can't quite tell, but it's like red with black flecks in it.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like dark red, dark black flecks in it. And then
what yarn is that?
The black is Pound of Love. The red is I Love This Yarn from Homophobic Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby, yeah.
But I made a skull one.
Their politics disappoint me because the yarn is so nice.
It is. The skeins are a little small though compared to like the normal like Red Heart skeins. Their skeins are just a little small, but they also do mini skeins, which I wish that more companies did. Because like I don't want to have to buy a full skein of yellow if I just need a little bit of yellow in a project.
You know, somebody was just talking about that on a podcast that not a podcast, a video that I watched the other day. They were talking about gift giving. I like the skull. That's nice. That looks like something your sister would wear.
I was afraid that the skull was like that his head was too big, but now looking at it in the camera, it looks good.
It looks good. But the what was I gonna say?
Gift giving mini skeins.
Oh yeah, okay, Junie, what did you just post in the Discord? Your Spotify?
Ooh, I will take a look at that.
Rap? We'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, somebody was talking about one of the things you can give somebody is one of those mini skein packs, because more companies do them. It's not just Hobby Lobby, because Red Heart has a mini skein pack.
But I don't want to buy a whole pack. I want to buy one.
Oh, you just want to buy.
Yeah, because there are sometimes I have patterns where I only need like a little bit of a color, and I am so tired of buying that ugly baby blue. And so if I need that ugly baby blue in something, I don't want to have to buy a whole skein of it. Honestly, I don't need to buy the huge skein, but I don't want to have to buy a whole skein of it that I'm not going to use for anything other than like a little splash of blue in something. But yes, I made a scarf hoodie.
Cute. I've just watched Passionate Kelsey's TikTok where she was making a scarf hoodie.
Does anybody recognize which yarn this is? It's the same one that's in my
Is
hat.
it favorite stripe? Yeah.
It's not favorite
Or
stripe. This is retro
retro
stripe.
stripe? Retro
Yeah.
stripe.
But I think I really like with the retro stripe and the black, I think it turned out so good. I'm very happy with it. And this is I believe the pattern is called the Harlequin hood. I have it on Ravelry. Let me share it. The other two hats are my own pattern, so keep an eye out for that. Speaking of which, have people started pattern testing the hat?
I have. You know I have.
Yeah, I think, yeah, because you're putting in all of the updates, all of the corrections in my thing. Let me make sure I tell the right name for this pattern. Go away, Spotify Wrapped. Downloads. It is, yes, this is the Harlequin hoodie. It's on Ravelry, and it is a free pattern. It was pretty easy to work with too, so I would recommend it. It didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Ooh, finished a cardigan. Can't wait to see. And then the last thing that I made am making, have not finished, is a scarf.
Lovely.
It's in that favorite stripe still with all the tails on it because I had to change colors so many times.
Is that corner to corner?
It is corner to corner.
My nemesis.
But it works up so easily, and look at how cute it is. It gives me the vibe of something.
Very nice.
The retro stripe with these diamonds gives me the vibe of something, but I don't know what.
Adorable.
It's not finished yet. I've got all these tails. I just, while we were talking earlier, was knotting the ends of the tails. So I'm going to trim them off, and then I'm going to do a black border around the whole thing so I don't have to weave anything in.
Aren't you fancy?
I'm just going to do a border right.
I know the ends are too much. I would have woven them in as I went, Ronald.
Absolutely not.
Some people don't do that. I work my ends in as I go. I work my ends in as I go unless it is a pattern where I am unsure of what I am working on. Like if I think that I'm good, like when I was making my sweater for vacation, I did not work in the ends because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to adjust the size of the sweater. And so I was trying things on and trying to see if I need to take the rows off or whatever. So I don't work the ends in then because you know me, when I work in an end, it stays working.
It's gone.
So I didn't want to have to fight to find those ends if I had to undo it. So
yeah, to Judy's point, I thought about carrying the color, but with the way that corner to corner works up, it just was more visible than I wanted it to be. And I thought that I was going to weave in the ends until I saw just how many ends there were. And I was like, you know what? There has to be a better way. So I tied up all the ends. So each corner has a colored end where I dropped it and a black end where I like either started it or dropped it. So I just tied the colored and black ends together. I'm gonna snip it pretty short and then go over all of the knots with black around the border because I like it I do like it borderless. I would like to keep it borderless, but I'm not weaving in all of these ends. I refuse.
I feel you.
I refuse. But yeah, that's all of my things. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I made 6 things this week. 6 items. What are you doing, Mother?
What am I doing? I'm pulling up your pattern so I could see where I was, so I could stitch these last few.
Oh yeah. While I have you here on the I've got you on the horn.
And I finished my picture. to go up on the wall while we were talking.
Oh yeah, show it. It looks good. I don't know what you're sighing about. It looks good.
I don't think the colors are coming across very well.
Oh, I think it looks good. It just looks like pastel-y.
It doesn't. There you go. It is very pastel-y. It's like shades of purple.
Hold it back as if it was on the wall. Like, put it back as if you were going to put it on the wall. I think it looks good.
That's probably where it's going to go, too.
I like it.
Okay. I think my next picture is, I'm probably going to finish one of my sticker pictures and put it up on this wall that you can't really see over here.
It is Liz Taylor, Ronald. Wait, it is Liz Taylor, right? Is that who said that was last week?
Yes, it is Liz Taylor. She didn't know that it was Liz Taylor.
I didn't, and she was like, Ronald would know who this is. And turns out she was right. Yep. Wait, what is this KFC gift wrap, Ronald? What? The gift wrap tastes like chicken? You're not supposed to lick the paper. What do you mean? That's
so wild. So that was all your crafty stuff. Out of my crafty stuff, all I've got is that picture that I finished, and then I am working on your test stitch, and then I don't know.
How far are you? Can I see?
Not very.
Can I see? It's looking good so far, though. I'm trying to figure out how, when you got to, because you got to one point and said that you had like 17 stitches when there was supposed to be a different number, and I'm trying to figure out how that happened. I did the math.
I think that I may not. I'm always confused when you go in the round where you're supposed to finish.
I always put, maybe I should put I'll put this in the pattern. I always put my stitch marker in the last stitch. So you do the last stitch and put the stitch marker there.
So I have my stitch marker here, right?
Yes.
In the last stitch. So when I come all the way back around, am I supposed to stitch in this stitch and then
that
put the stitch marker in there?
Yes.
Okay.
And that will be your final stitch. So when you're doing your counting, that should be number 15, number 25, number whatever.
Yeah, I think what I was doing before is, Ronald,
that sounds gross.
Yeah, I think the way I was doing it before was I think I was stopping before the stitch marker. And so I think that adds an extra stitch or something. Cause like if this is the stitch marker, I would stop in this stitch before it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it was just every time I go in the round like that, I'm always confused about where I'm supposed to be stopping, what I'm supposed to be counting.
You do so the stitch marker goes in the last stitch. You do that stitch and move your stitch marker, and that's the end of your row.
Okay.
So when you're starting the new row, you should have the stitch marker in the last stitch that you just did.
Okay.
Not before it. Yeah. Are you up to the correct stitch count now? Like, were you able to fix it?
No, probably not. Because this says I'm supposed to be, I don't know, 18?
18? And how many do you have?
Let's see. So if I start from where I am right here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have 2 extra stitches.
You got 2 extra stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Fully just decrease where you are. Decrease right now and keep going.
Why would I do that? That would be confusing.
It won't be confusing though, because you'll have the right number of stitches in the next round. And the way that this worked out, you're really not going to notice it super. Like if you were doing a bunch of decreases, you would probably notice it. But the hat is so long. If you do one decrease right where you are right now, you should be good.
So if I do one decrease,
Because
that's only
you got two too many stitches, right?
yes.
Do one decrease now. Do 4 stitches and then do another decrease.
Now I'm
Sorry,
trying to now I'm trying to remember how to decrease.
woman. Yeah, she's working on the pattern test. When I work in the round, I end up putting the marker in the first stitch of the new row so I can find it when I get back around. It's basically the same thing. I only started putting the stitch marker in the last stitch because when I was doing the slouchy witch hat pattern by the Entangled Fae, she specifies to put the stitch marker in the last stitch, and I just liked knowing when I'm getting to the last stitch so much that I started doing that anytime I'm working the round. So now anytime I work in the round, even if they don't say it, I put the stitch marker in the last stitch so I know when I'm ending. So I know like this is the last stitch, so if I don't have enough stitches, I've done something wrong. Oh, and Ronald is telling you how to decrease. Do half of the stitch in the first, and then do half of the stitch in the second, and then finish them both together. My mother, who's been crocheting since before I was born.
Well, a lot of things, it's like a lot of things that I make, there's certain things that I don't have to do very often.
Yeah, with these like amigurumi patterns and stuff like that, I do a lot of increasing and decreasing.
Okay. All right. So I have done all the decreases.
All the decreases.
All
Are
the
you
decreases.
are you doing the pattern to be able to add the stripe later, or are you doing
Yes.
the pattern? Okay.
Yes. This is a very vile, witchy color because I'm making the hat. You can't see how bright this is going to be, but I'm making the hat in purple, which you can't tell in this light.
It looks very lavender.
You can't no, it is a nice bright purple Karen Simply Soft, and then I am going to make the stripe.
Ronald,
in this
use the
bright,
cheapest worsted weight yarn. Oh, that's gonna be so cute. That's gonna be cute. I can't wait to see it. Ronald,
I don't know who's gonna wear it. It doesn't match a thing in my wardrobe, but I started in black. I was gonna do black and do the Mexicana as the stripe. The Mexicana rainbow yarn is the stripe.
That would be cute too.
But I started doing the hat at night because sometimes you get it in your head.
Oh yeah, you cannot see.
You get this in your head. I want to start now. And so it was already at night and I started it and I couldn't, and it's starting at the tip. It's fiddly anyway. And so I couldn't really see what I was doing. And my neck light was not charged because I haven't used it in a while. My neck light was not charged. So I was like, you know what? We are switching to a different color right this second. And
it's gonna be cute though. I'm excited.
I have all this Karen Simply Soft left, which I know y'all hate Karen Simply Soft, but
it's so splitty.
I like it.
Circling back, Ronald, if you want to do the pattern test, confirm with me right now if you definitely want to do the pattern test, and I will add you to the thing right now as I'm sitting here. The yarn, literally the cheapest worsted weight that you have. Like you do not need a special yarn or anything, just a worsted weight yarn. Because I did the hats that I used, the hats that I made, I have several different types of yarn. Let's see. This is, so the 2 tan ones are, what is it? It's Big Twist Ombre. I want to say Big Twist Ombre. And then the purple one that I did is the Lion Brand Mandala. No, it's not too late to join. I can add you in right now. So yeah, whatever.
And while you're adding him in, I wanted to make a comment, going back to something we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Where I was talking about how I only use acrylic yarns. We were talking about how, because acrylic is cheap and all that stuff. And I was watching Queen's Yarn Boutique on YouTube. And she was talking about how she was chatting with another knitter and crocheter, and they were talking about how um, a lot of people think that crocheters don't use, that crocheters are only allowed to use acrylic, and how that's a myth and whatever. And I I just wanted to clarify, because I know I say more than once here, acrylic is for me, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people have to use acrylic.
No.
I use acrylic because my budget is tight, and
Same.
acrylic is inexpensive, and um acrylic is fine for this hat,
Yeah.
Ronald.
You can honestly do either one. If you have cotton and you want to try cotton, I've not tried making it with cotton before, just because it is more of a winter hat and acrylic tends to stay warmer than cotton, in my opinion. Um, but I would suggest acrylic because acrylic is cheaper and it's a yarn test, it's a pattern test, and you don't know if you're going to wear the hat. If you think you're definitely going to wear the hat and you're making it for you, use
But
what you want.
you are a childless man. You can use your money and buy some wool if you want to.
Exactly. Use what you want. Actually, no. Ronald, you specifically have to make it out of alpaca. You specifically. I'm kidding. Use whatever you want.
But yeah, I just wanted to clarify what I was saying last week, which is, if you want to crochet stuff out of wool or linen or whatever, there's no limit. Knit and just like you don't have to. Knitters don't have to use fancy wool. You can use acrylic to knit stuff, because that's all I've ever used. There are very isolated incidences where I have used wool, and like one time it was because I was purposely felting a bag.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days I may show the felted bag. It's not within reach at the moment.
You continue this. My laptop is fully about to die. I gotta go get my charger so fast.
Okay. But I have used wool in a few specific instances, like if I wanted to felt something because I wanted to try out felting, and I did felt the bag. I tried it. It's fun. Yay. Don't see the need to do it again unless there's a pattern that catches my eye. But crocheters don't have to. It's like when people say that crocheters only have to use acrylic, the way they say it is almost like they're trying to relegate crocheters to the basement, because there are snobby people who think crochet is not as valid a skill as knitting. Knitting is fancier or whatever. And I will admit that I do tend to do a little bit of the reverse. If I start watching a streamer or whatever, and I see that they're a knitter and they only go to the local yarn shop and they never buy stuff from Auntie Joanne's or any other big box stores, I tend to turn them off, only because I can't relate, because they're not going to be using any yarn that I can afford. So I can't relate to what they're doing. But that doesn't mean that you can't make your crochet items out of any yarn that you choose, any yarn that you like. Especially if you're making it for yourself and you want to indulge in some, mohair, alpaca, silk, whatever. You've got that cash. You've got that dosh and you want to spend it on yourself, do that. But I don't have crochet just eats up so much yarn that it would cost so much more to make it out of an expensive yarn.
Ooh, don't look up the magic circle, Ronald. If you hold off for just a minute, I'm putting in an alternate thing that you can do, so you don't have to do a little magic circle. Actually, chain 2 and put your 6 stitches into the second chain in the hook, and then continue going around. I'm going to add that to the thing. I just haven't yet.
Yeah, you should have added that for me. I did the magic circle.
I mean, also learn to use magic circle, girlies. It makes you better. You
could look shoot.
If you learn the magic circle, you could look like this.
Whatever. I just did that whole round fully through. I didn't do the back loop because I'm busy talking to y'all.
Not missing your back loop. Also, read through the full pattern before you completely start, because there are two ways to make the hat. There's the two ways. There's the hat that I showed earlier, where it's just the solid
And
hat, which is good.
I told you should put that at the top.
I haven't edited it yet. I saw your edits. I haven't had a chance to edit them yet. I didn't realize more people were gonna be starting now. Magic Circle doesn't suck. Magic Circle is my favorite. I love the Magic Circle.
I don't like Magic Circle either, but I did it because I know how to do it, so I did it. But
your girl loves the Magic Circle.
It's not my favorite.
But there are two ways to make the pattern, Ronald. If you do it completely as written, then it's going to be like the hat that you see me wear before, where it's this, but it's got the spiral stripe going around it. So you'll need an accent color to do that spiral stripe, or you can make them like this, where it's just a solid hat with no stripe. And the instructions are in there for both. And I'll fix it today. So everyone keep a lookout. Things will be changed today.
Honestly, because the way I'm looking at it right now, you could just knit it in the back loop all the way through and just not add the spiral and it would look fine.
I don't like the look of the extra loops just sitting there though.
Okay. But you can do that.
Yeah, you could.
You can do that. And because I think it looks fine with that little spiral on it, adding a little bit of texture to it. You always shows up good in the camera.
It does.
Yeah.
It shows up so bright in the camera. I don't know. I just
that little stripe, crocheting in the back loop just gives you that top stripe.
Not Ronald using me as an excuse to go back to Joanne's. Tell hubby it has to be alpaca. It has to be alpaca.
Speaking of 3 yarns.
What?
And I know you need to get out of here, but I saw a beginner, it says beginner, but I saw a blanket on Yarnspirations, and it's holding 4 yarns together.
Ew.
And
why would you ever?
I know I hate to do that, but you know what? It would be a good way to use up a whole bunch of this yarn I got sitting in here.
It would be a good way to start using up a whole bunch of yarn, and then you realize you hate it and never pick up the pattern again.
I might try it though.
Exactly, Ronald. Hang on. I'm looking for it right now. I
might try it. I know we don't hold strands together in this house, but I'm tempted. I'm tempted. The only thing that's holding me off, honestly, is because it's calling for a huge hook, and the only hook I have that size are those remember those Tunisian hooks I bought that stink to high heaven?
The stinky hooks. Ooh.
They're still sitting in the bag stinking to high heaven.
Ooh, stinky.
But
what size hook does it call for?
It calls for something like a P.
What is that? Like a 10 millimeter?
Like a 13 millimeter.
Yeah, the biggest I have is a 9 millimeter.
Yeah, I think I have an 8 millimeter that I bought for that do-rag. And then I have an M, which is like a 9 millimeter, I think. That's the non-stinky variety. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hold 4 yarns together. I think what I'm gonna do is like maybe hold 2 or possibly 3 together. And I think I'm going to, because I have a lot of yarns in here that are like furry or something, but I only have 1 or 2 skeins of it. So I think I might just take one basic yarn and then hold some of these other yarns with it to, it's time for the rock music.
Thank you, Ronald.
Hold some of these other yarns with it so that I can use up these 1 or 2 ball yarns that I have no use for, and turn it into another ugly blanket that one of my children will probably drag around until I'm dead. I don't know why y'all like these ugly blankets that I make, but
you know me, I love ugly blankets. Also, I gotta figure out something to do with this last little bit of retro stripe. I wanted to use it and finish the I wanted to use it and finish out this scarf, but I got so
Mhm.
bored. I got so bored of making this scarf, and I was like, and this is long enough. Honestly, this is long enough for just a normal scarf.
Uh-huh.
As someone who doesn't really wear scarves, I always think they need to be super, super long. But this is actually pretty long enough for a scarf. But now I've got just like this little bit of favorite stripe that I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, that needs to be added to a scrap ball for you to make one of those granny square blankets.
Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna
or the or the
rewind it
six
up.
or the 6 day star blanket. Which I was
Bro.
gonna make one of those, but I've been turned off of it because I've been seeing people on TikTok talk about how the pattern is difficult to
Yeah, I
read,
also saw that.
and they say that when you try to contact the designer, she's real rude. Like, I don't have any problems. I don't know why you're having problems.
Honestly,
And
she's probably pulling a what was that cook's name, Teeny? She's probably
mhm,
just tired of because her pattern went viral, and she's probably
yeah,
being bombarded with people saying, "Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Why is it like this?" And is just tired of having to deal with it every day.
that's true too. Because I mean, it is available for free, and a lot of people are making 3 and 4 of them, so it must not be that terrible.
And Ronald makes a good point. She has videos for it with no speed ups, full out every stitch. So if you're really concerned,
But I've heard people, and that's the other thing. I've heard people say that the video does not match what the written pattern does,
ooh,
so that is confusing.
dang.
But I might try it anyway because I am really enamored, and it just feels like a good way to use up. I just want something that's. I just want one big blanket project that will just like eat up a bunch
Hmm.
of yarn that I've got sitting here, so that I can feel justified in buying more yarn.
See, I keep telling myself I want to do a blanket, and then I got bored making this scarf. It's too much.
I know. I saw a picture of the blanket that I made your Aunt Terry for her wedding present. It took me a full year to make it because I get bored. And it took me a full, but she sent me a picture of it the other day to show me that it's still sitting in her living room. And I'm
Oh,
like, I cannot believe that I made this blanket. I mean, I'm looking at all the designs and stuff in it, and I'm like, I cannot believe what was I
you should post a
thinking?
picture of it in the Discord.
What it's on my Ravelry.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen it. But and what about the people who are not on your Ravelry?
I'm
Put it in
like,
the Discord.
what was I thinking that I
You
made
made
that blanket?
that?
Yes, I made that. What was I thinking?
What were you thinking?
I made this out of a pattern that came from a magazine that was in the grocery store. Because
Why,
you used to
yo?
be able to buy magazines in the grocery store that had crochet patterns in the back.
Definitely post that to the Discord so we can look at that close up. That is crazy. How much yarn was that?
I don't know. It was like it's at least 4 colors.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's 4 colors because it's a tan and 2 shades of brown or 3 different shades of brown.
Wild. I could never.
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. But it is time for us to dash because Artemis needs to go to work and make that money, and so do I.
We got to get
Um,
out of here. Everybody,
yeah.
if you have any more questions about the pattern, you can, if you're in the pattern testing thing, you can leave comments. You should be able to see my mother has left 4,500 comments. You can highlight the section that you have a question about, leave a comment. I will go check it. I will be checking it today. I tried to check it every day. I was busy the last 2 days, but I will be checking it today. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in there. If you have a question and I'm not checking it fast enough for you, send me a message on Discord and I will go take a look at it and try to help you out. But the pattern is pretty loosey-goosey. So like I was telling my mother, if you get off on your stitch count, just go ahead and decrease right where you are or go ahead and increase right where you are. And it should all work.
Okay, microphone.
Hello? Have you
Yes,
lost me?
yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, don't be too precious until you get to the brim. Up until the brim, you don't have to worry about it too much. Just make sure you get to that point where there are 72 stitches, and then you'll do those 72 stitches and then worry about the brim. But up until there, if you're off, increase or decrease wherever.
Cool, 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 cool,
It will
cool.
work itself out and it will be okay.
Cool, 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 cool.
And let me know if you need any pictures added, because I didn't put any pictures in there because it feels pretty simple to me, but I've also made it like 10 times. So if you need pictures, let me know, because I have the yarn to start another one, because I'm starting another one with the stripes. Unfortunately, I think that one's going to be black yarn. I'll have to do it in the favorite stripe.
No.
Ronald said, "Oh goodness, I'm getting scared. Auntie Joanne, hold me." What if we got a Joanne sponsor? What if we got a sponsor from Joanne? That would be wild, right?
Good Lord. We don't have enough. I just saw, we got to go, but I just wanted to mention, I just saw a new video podcast called Two Sisters Knitting and Talking Shit.
Cute.
And that they're just on their second episode. They already have 1,000 views on their, not that we're trying to, compete or anything, but it's like, I think we need to start editing these things if we want actually somebody to watch them.
Yeah, edit them and post them as normal videos.
Yeah, because they just started last week and they've already got 1,000 people watching them.
I mean, I got some days off this week. Let me see what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what I can do, and I'll maybe get a hold of Chloe and see if she can help out with some stuff. But if I do editing, it's going to be the most basic.
Seriously, that's what I was thinking. If I do editing, it will be the most basic.
But at least if we edit, then we'll show up, because I think since we're doing them as lives, they're not showing up in people's like normal videos. They show up in the lives. So if we edit them and then repost them as just normal videos,
because even if you go to our channel page, if you have to go over to the tab that says live to find them. If you go under videos, all you find are my old stuff from 5 years ago.
The only other thing that I'm worried about is that we have the same podcast name as Robert Reich.
Yeah.
But we started first. We were here first.
It'll be all right.
All right. I gotta go. If you like this, give it a like. If you want to know when we're going live, and hopefully it'll let you know, unlike when it didn't tell Ari, hit the notification bell. It'll let you know at least one time. At least once. And subscribe if you want to follow along with the crazy antics. Have beautiful looks like this. If anybody after this is watching and is interested in the pattern test, if it's still going on, leave a comment. If you're doing the pattern test and you're so scared by the crazy patterns that I'm making, leave a yarn ball.
And if you made it, if you've watching this after the fact and you've made it all the way to the end, put a diamond in the comment section in honor of my Liz Taylor picture. Do you know why? Do you know why?
I'm feeling diamonds are forever something.
No, that's Marilyn Monroe. Her perfume was white diamonds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I'm here for, to educate you.
You learn something new every day.
And watch somebody come in and tell me I was wrong. But I'm just remembering that off the top of the dome. But put a diamond anyway, whether I'm right or wrong. And we shall see you. If you want to see us play some games, you'll have to join us over on Twitch on Fridays. But if you just want to talk about yarn and crafty stuff and what we might be reading or watching, come back here on Wednesday at 10 a.m. and start the crossword while I'm making coffee.
See if you can beat Ronald at the crossword. It's hard.
Enjoy your week, people.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta
luego.
Hasta luego.
Ending the stream.